It breaks my heart knowing that Carlos is gone. What about someone else's Carlos, you know? Someone else's brother.
Number 20, Burger King Pokeballs. In the late 90s, Burger King looked to get in on the Pokemon craze. To promote the first movie, the fast food giant gave away dozens of Pokemon toys inside small plastic Pokeballs. Unfortunately, these proved a choking hazard for young children.
Once you put them up to your mouth and you suck on them, like it kind of like sticks to your mouth and then you can't get any air and then you pass away.
On December 11th, 1999, a 13-month-old baby suffocated to death on one of the Pokeballs, prompting officials to demand a recall. Burger King refused, stating their desire for an autopsy report proving that the Pokeball had caused her death. A few weeks later, an 18-month-old nearly suffocated on another Pokeball but was saved by her father. It was only then that Burger King agreed to recall the item, and they were fiercely criticized for their slow response. Number 19, mini hammocks. In the mid-90s, various companies were ordered to recall their mini net hammocks as they came without spreader bars. Without the spreader bars, the hammocks were not held open and had a tendency to twist around people who were entering or exiting the hammock.
Wait, why don't you just get someone who works
No,
here?
this is gonna work. And
Oh, wow. It's spasming. Don't move.
This was especially problematic for young children who were prone to strangulation owing to their small and easily caught throats. The Consumer Product Safety Commission received reports of 12 deaths between 1984 and 1995, prompting them to officially recall and ban the sale of Hang 10 and Twin Oaks mini hammocks in 1996. Number 18, Peloton Tread Plus. The COVID pandemic has greatly increased the popularity of Peloton treadmills as people look to exercise in the safety of their homes.
Peloton, come on, let's get this workout started.
Unfortunately, heavy and speedy exercise equipment comes with an inherent danger factor. In March 2021, Peloton revealed that a young child had tragically passed away in an accident involving their Tread Plus treadmill.
Children should not be sucked under a conveyor belt that can kill them.
The following month, the CPSC asked consumers to stop using the product, citing the aforementioned death and dozens of other injuries involving both pets and humans.
We did make a mistake by not engaging with the Consumer Product Safety Commission in a more productive dialogue earlier in the process.
In May, 2 months after the child's death, Peloton finally succumbed to industry pressure and recalled all of their Tread and Tread Plus products, while apologizing for the delay in action. Number 17, Reebok heart-shaped charm bracelets. Between 2004 and 2006, Reebok gave away heart-shaped charm bracelets at nationwide shoe retailers. The bracelets were a free gift that could be obtained by buying certain brands of children's shoes. Measuring about 8 inches long, the charm bracelets were silver in color and the name Reebok was engraved on the heart. Unfortunately, these bracelets were found to contain dangerous levels of lead, and a 4-year-old child from Minnesota tragically passed away from lead poisoning after swallowing a piece of the bracelet. A voluntary recall was issued in March of 2006, banning the gifting and reselling of Reebok charm bracelets. Number 16, Audi TT Type 8N. While still in production today, the Audi TT, specifically the Type 8N, received some significant press coverage in the late 90s and early 2000s owing to numerous fatalities associated with the car. The 2000 Audi TT suffered from stabilizer issues, resulting in a loss of control at high speeds. Fatal accidents typically occurred when drivers were recklessly speeding and either making sharp turns or abrupt lane changes. The car would veer out of control and either roll over or smash into the nearest obstacle, killing the occupants.
Oh dear no, sliding all over the shop. Just listen to the tire squeal.
Audi recalled the vehicles and replaced various parts, including the front and rear stabilizers, control arms, and shock absorbers. Number 15, Kratom. An evergreen tree from Southeast Asia, Kratom is used for a wide variety of purposes.
And I measure it out, 3.95 on the dot. Some OJ, and then I drink it all down.
It treats chronic pain and withdrawal symptoms, increases alertness and energy like caffeine, and is used in a similar manner to alcohol to improve sociability.
You feel energized, you feel relaxed, you feel the pain kind of melt away.
Unfortunately, it also comes with a slew of adverse effects, including death. hundreds of people have reportedly died from kratom overdose, including 152 people in the United States between 2016 and 2017.
I'm drawn to the arguments that if there's absolutely no formal studies out there and we're just having people wing it, that scares me.
While popular for its purported health benefits, kratom is banned in a number of countries, including Ireland. Indonesia will make the plant illegal in 2022, and the FDA banned the import of kratom in 2014.
If we made it more available, that people would use it like an opiate, overuse it like an opiate, become dependent on it like they do with an opiate, and then have to go through withdrawal.
Number 14, Jalisco Mexican products. Los Angeles was rocked by a horrible outbreak of listeriosis throughout 1985. A bacterial infection, listeriosis targets pregnant women and newborns with particular alacrity. Unfortunately, the 1985 outbreak resulted in the deaths of 10 newborns and 18 adults, while simultaneously causing 20 miscarriages. The tragic cases were eventually linked to Jalisco Mexican Products, a company that manufactured Mexican cheese. The company's unlicensed employees were reportedly making the cheese with raw milk in its unsanitary plants, resulting in the fatal bacterial infections. Following a massive recall of the cheese, Jalisco's owner and head cheesemaker were sent to prison, and the company eventually shuttered its doors. Number 13, Peanut Corp peanut butter. The United States was very weary of peanut butter in the late 2000s.
Anaphylaxis, begin phase 2.
Yes, Dr. Lagoon!
Peanut butter! No! Stop! Anything but that! Help!
According to the CDC, over 700 people had fallen ill and 9 had died after suffering a nasty case of salmonella. However, the real number was probably higher, as many cases of salmonella go unreported.
You're not hungry either? Okay. Okay, it's fine.
A massive investigation was launched, combining the forces of the FDA and the CDC, and the outbreak was traced to Peanut Corp's processing plant. The case was historic for a number of reasons.
Food safety lost out to greed.
Not only did it launch the biggest food recall in American history, but it also resulted in the harshest punishment ever given in a food-related court case. Stuart Parnell, the owner of Peanut Corp, was sentenced to 28 years in prison.
This former CEO is already 61 years old, so they're calling this a virtual life sentence.
Number 12, Takata. A Japanese auto parts manufacturer, Takata was mired in controversy from the very beginning. Its headquarters in Germany saw multiple deaths, and in 1995, the company was at the center of a major seatbelt recall. But the biggest and most expensive controversy began in 2013. Takata held 20% of the airbag market, but many of them were dangerously defective.
How fast do you reckon you were going?
5 miles an hour, maybe.
That all?
Yeah, I was just trying to go through the stop sign.
Problems with the inflator and the propellant resulted in sharp pieces of shrapnel severely injuring and killing occupants of Takata-installed cars.
And I'm puzzled because the vehicle doesn't look that damaged.
The defective airbags resulted in hundreds of injuries and at least 27 deaths, and over 40 million cars were pulled, making this the largest vehicle-related recall in American history.
I called NHTSA. They tell me, do not drive your vehicle. Your recall notice says your car can kill you or seriously injure you.
Takata subsequently went bankrupt in 2017 as a result of the steep cost of compensation. Number 11, Toyota floor mats. On August 28, 2009, a major news story caught the attention of the nation. An off-duty highway patrol officer was stuck in a speeding car with his family. As the vehicle was traveling at 100 miles per hour, a passenger called 911 and pleaded for help, stating that the brakes weren't working.
We're going north 125. Our accelerator's stuck.
The car eventually crashed and all 4 occupants died. Later investigations revealed that Toyota cars had been linked to thousands of cases of unintended acceleration. The problem was eventually traced to the floor mats in Toyota and Lexus vehicles, which were jamming the gas pedals and causing the vehicles to speed wildly out of control. Millions of cars were recalled, and the accountable floor mats were destroyed and redesigned.
Simply put, Toyota's engineers weren't up to the job on this one.
Number 10, Ford Pinto. Did you know that Ford was tried for reckless homicide? In the late 70s, the motor company was taken to court for the deaths of 3 Indiana teenage girls. The weapon, a Ford Pinto.
We built Ford Pinto to be a rugged, reliable, basic car, just like the one Doc Gibson started out with 60 years ago.
When this stylish car was hit from behind, the gas tank could explode. It wasn't the only subcompact car with this problem, but it also emerged that Ford knew about the issue and didn't fix it. The 3 teens from Indiana were sitting inside the Pinto when it was struck by a van. The subsequent lawsuit was one of 117 related to rear-end accidents in the Pinto.
With his new optional glass hatchback, exciting new front-end styling, and his new flip-up removable roof option.
Ford won that lawsuit, but lost another famous case, Grimshaw versus Ford Motor Company, which also involved a fatal fuel tank fire. They recalled the automobile in June 1978. Number 9, Infantino's baby slings. Baby wearing was a popular trend in the early 2000s. New mothers and fathers would carry babies on their chest in open sling bags. It was a way to keep the baby closer to the parent while running errands, and Infantino touted it allowed for bonding between parent and infant. However, after 3 infants suffocated, Infantino recalled their Sling Rider and Wendy Bellissimo slings in 2010, announcing a replacement program.
Stop using it immediately for children under 4 months of age. It's a suffocation risk to them.
The Consumer Product Safety Commission warned parents not to use the slings for babies under 4 months, stating that they could restrict breathing and block airways in certain positions. Number 8, Buckyballs. Kids will eat literally anything, as long as it's not vegetables, including completely inedible objects. And it's this fact that led to the demise of the magnetic toy Buckyballs, which took the US by storm in 2009. Although intended for older children and adults, Buckyballs were often swallowed by children. When 2 or more were ingested, the superpowered magnets would connect, causing absolutely horrendous internal tears. In fact, magnet toys caused an estimated 2,900 emergency room visits between 2009 and 2013, including 1 death. This prompted the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission to issue a recall in 2012.
On our packaging, it says keep away from all children in 5 different places. We have a vigorous safety program that we don't sell to stores that market to children.
In response, Buckyballs inventor Craig Zucker went to war, waging a public relations campaign against the commission. He ultimately lost. Number 7, Fckd Up. Remember 4 Loko?
I was thinking for the dinner beverage, we have a 4 Loko watermelon from '09.
The alcohol caffeine beverage was famously banned by some states after a spate of hospitalizations, prompting 4 Loko to remove the caffeine, taurine, and guarana.
Number 1, are they going to limit the amount of alcohol? Because it's 11.9%, which is very high. And number 2 is, can we limit the places that people can get them?
Well, Fckd Up was basically the Canadian version of the original 4 Loko, albeit with way less caffeine. The drink was pulled from convenience store shelves after a teen death in 2018. 14-year-old Atina Gervais was found dead after a house party, and it emerged that she'd been drinking Fckd Up. The media calls the intoxication caused by such concoctions as wide-awake drunk. Due to this feeling, some people don't realize how drunk they are until it's too late. Number 6, infant sleep positioners. Produced by multiple companies, infant sleep positioners were marketed as a means to prevent flathead syndrome, acid reflux, and sudden infant death syndrome, or SIDS. However, all of these claims were unproven. Worse, these positioners created a serious suffocation risk. In the 2010s, the FDA flooded the internet and TV with PSAs warning against their use, linking them to at least 12 deaths. Subsequently, many retailers stopped selling them, and regulatory bodies in other countries issued similar warnings. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends that babies sleep on their backs on a firm, empty surface.
Follow the ABCs of safe sleep. Alone, on the back, in a bare crib.
Number 5, Firestone and Ford tires. Ford and Firestone have had a business partnership stretching back to 1906.
A wedding in Akron, Ohio unites 2 pioneer automotive families, Ford and Firestone.
But in the early 2000s, they had a very public fight. According to Ford, the Wilderness AT tire by Firestone had treads that could separate from the tire and cause blowouts while driving. According to Firestone, the Ford Explorer was to blame, with a faulty design causing the car to roll.
Most of the deaths and injuries involve Ford Explorers, not other vehicles equipped with the same tires.
It began to feel like a divorce, with each blaming the other for hundreds of fatalities in the U.S. alone. The public were the kids caught in the middle.
Back tire blew out. And all I could remember is flipping and flipping.
Eventually, though, the tires were recalled and the automobile was redesigned. Number 4, lawn darts.
I'm sorry, what's that?
Miss it.
I can't hear you.
So imagine a game of darts, but you're in your backyard rather than a bar. Sounds fun, right? Now imagine the darts are giant. If you're thinking, well, that sounds a little bit dangerous, you'd be more than a little bit right. The needle end of the dart had to be sharp enough to pierce the ground, which also made it sharp enough to pierce people. In the 1970s and 80s, this caused thousands of visits to hospital emergency rooms and at least 3 deaths, leading to a ban in the United States and Canada. They remain legal, however, in the EU. Number 3, Kinder Surprise Eggs.
It's 3 of the things children wish for most. A surprise, a toy, and a chocolate treat.
Since they're packaged like a Cadbury cream egg, it's understandable that some kids and adults would simply pop these large chocolate eggs into their mouths. However, instead of a creamy center, they'd find a less forgiving plastic container with a toy inside. After several deaths due to choking, the U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission banned importation of Kinder Surprise.
Sorry, it's my fault. Had Kinder eggs. Didn't know we weren't supposed to bring them.
They remain legal, however, in many other countries, including Canada and Mexico. However, in 2017, a chocolate egg with the toy packaged separately, called Kinder Joy, finally arrived stateside. Number 2, crib bumpers. Heavy blankets, pillows, stuffed animals, and plush bumpers might seem like cute and comfortable additions to a baby's crib.
We'd have it just like this in the bed, and we weren't worried because he wasn't rolling over.
Unfortunately, though, crib bumpers were also linked to 77 deaths between 1985 and 2012. This startlingly high number of incidents led to PSAs warning new parents of the dangers. In response, some states, including Maryland, Ohio, and New York, as well as the city of Chicago, have banned crib bumpers. They're still available for purchase in other locations, but ongoing efforts aim to ban their manufacturing and importation nationwide. Number 1, milk and baby formula. Melamine is used in making multiple products the world over, including flame-retardant paints and plastics. You're probably now asking, why would anyone put that in baby formula? Well, sadly, the answer is that many companies in China, most prominently the Sanlu Group, were using it to fake high protein values in order to pass quality checks.
The baby would cry and cry and cry, and his stomach became more and more bloated day by day, and he was urinating blood.
The problem is that melamine can also cause serious kidney problems. As a result, an estimated 54,000 babies were hospitalized and 6 died. When the scandal was exposed in 2008, it led to a massive recall as well as prison and death sentences.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.